This is a video of how to simply zero your weapon without a bunch of acronyms or terms. Just simple if you don't know anything about guns, how to do it. So simply zeroing your weapon is getting your sight picture, red dot, whatever it is, to align where your barrel shoots. I'm making this video because I've given guns away to people or sold them with sights on it, and they automatically think that it's going to shoot wherever the sight is, and that's not the case. You could have your red dot right on the target right here, and it'll still shoot way here or may not even hit the target. And I'm surprised people didn't know that. So this is a video on how to simply do it. So the first thing is you can't zero your weapon if you don't know how to shoot. If you can't group, you need to know how to group and shoot correctly so that you can zero your weapon. If you can't do that, there's no point zeroing it because your shots are going to be all over the place. Grouping is when you shoot your shots and they all hit in the same area. Grouping would be you aim at the center target or wherever you want really, but I would just say choose the center. You shoot, take 3 shots, take 5 shots, and depending on how those shots come out, it'll show you if you know how to shoot. So your shots should come out something like 1, 2, 3, something like that, or even 1, 2, 3 right next to each other. Maybe even 1, 2, 3 like that. If your shots are coming out one over here, one way down here, there's a good chance that you need practice shooting, or your barrels mess up, something like that. So a couple of tips on when you shoot. I'm not an expert or anything like that, but you want to maybe shoot between a breath, either just if you could see when you breathe, I'm going to exaggerate it, but it would make your sight go up and down. So if you're shooting a line up and down, that could be because of your breathing. If it's coming to the sides, if you're shooting and they're like coming in a line, that could be your trigger pull. When you squeeze, you kind of pull, so I'm exaggerating. So up and down could be that, or if it's side to side, it's probably trigger pull. Or again, it could be your barrel. If you have a horrible barrel, or if you just don't know how to shoot at all and you're just not aiming at the same spot correct. Once you learn to group, you're ready to zero. It is important that when you mount your sight, it's in the correct position, because once your weapon is zeroed, you can't take it off or adjust it or move it, or you could lose zero. I've never done it myself, but I know you could lose zero. I don't know how much it would change it, but basically once you put your sight on, you don't want to move it. You don't want to slide it even 1 or 2 forward. So make sure it's in the correct position where you want it, because you're not going to be able to change it. When you're first getting a new sight on your weapon, I would suggest maybe starting off at 25 yards as close as possible when you shoot, just because if your sight's way off, you may not even hit the target. Normally, I've never had that issue, but there's a chance that even at 25 yards, your sight won't be on the target picture at all, or however, whatever, you know what I mean. So you want it as close as possible. Maybe take 5 shots. I normally do 3, but if you're newer, if you're a bad shooter, maybe do 5, just so you can see how your shot spread is. But 25 yards, take 5, 3 shots, whatever you want, and then depending on where those come out, let's, for example, let's just say you're aiming at center always. You shot a shot here, you shot the shot here, and you shot the shot here. They're close. That shows you know how to group. But now you're up to the right. So what you want to do, you need to be moved down towards center. So your shots need to come down here. The way you do that is not next time you shoot, you point your weapon down. You don't point your weapon down. You adjust the sights. You always aim towards the center no matter what. You don't uh, move your weapon around like, oh, I shot high last time, let me aim a little bit lower. Don't do that. You want to put the sight on the center. So you take your weapon again, next time you shoot, and aim at the same spot. As far as adjusting to get where you need to go, every sight is different. I have an EOTech, so it does show right here. How you adjust this sight is at 25 yards, 50 yards, 100 yards, depending on what you want. You turn the knob a ½ inch at 100 yards. We're doing 25 yards, so it says 1/8 of an inch movement at 25 yards. So just say this is 25 yards. I need to go from center where I guess the middle from where I shot would be 1, 2, 3 inches down, 1, 2 inches to the left. So on mine, 8 clicks is an inch, so it'd be 8, 16, and do one more, and then you do, I don't know if I'm going too fast, sorry if I am. So 8, 8, 8 down, and then 8, 8 times 2 down. So on the adjustments, it's right here. It's pretty simple. So on mine again, 8 clicks at 25 yards. So you're gonna turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, and it has it labeled right here. Sorry if you can't see that. There we go. So right, left, down, up. It's really simple. So like my target again, I'm right and I'm high. So you want to go turn it down and you want to turn it left. And every site's probably going to be different on how you turn this. You could probably Google whatever site you want. If you don't, or you're not able to Google it, if it's an off-brand site, you could just figure it out by twisting maybe 10 times on however you want, and see how much it moves in. You could just keep doing it over and over again to get it on target. But let's just say I moved this down and I moved it left. Then again, you take shots center. I had already said this, but you don't aim down just because you shot high. You always aim at the same spot, center. Even though your shots are out here, you aim at the center. So again, you take 3 shots or whatever. Your shots could come out perfectly, or they could come out like this, a little bit higher. And then the same thing as you did before, the center of your shot. So you just know you need to move a little bit down, maybe not even to the side, you're straight up, depending on how it comes out. This one, you just move down a little bit by 1 inch. So on mine, it would be, again, move it down 8 clicks. You turn it 8 clicks, la la la. So you take your shots again, center target, 1, 2, 3. Once your shots are in this area, you're zeroed. You're good to go. Depending on what your weapon is, you may not be able to get it that close. I was using my AK short barrel at 100 yards. I got them all in the black, but I only got a few on the center. Maybe I suck at shooting. And I couldn't even see this. I mean, at 100 yards without a magnifier or anything. I've done it with iron sights, but without like a magnifier and that little red dot, it's really hard to see anything but this black circle. So it's kind of hard, but I got them on the black. Down here were the shots that I got when I was just busting it, just popping few, not really taking my time. But overall, I got them in this section right here, and that's what you want to do. This is only about 6 inches by 6 inches at 100 yards. So, I mean, that any of these shots are going to be awesome. But again, you want to be as close as possible to the zero. And I'm not sure if I had mentioned, but every one of these shots, take your time. You're in no hurry. You just line it up, concentrate on your breathing, concentrate on your trigger pull. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot. Don't rush, because if you're rushing, it's just going to mess your whole zero up. The point of zeroing is to get your weapon as perfect as possible, so that when you are just busting shots out later on for fun, that's going to be pretty accurate. Here's a close-up if you wanted to maybe screenshot this. Again, all sites are different, but this is for this site. And I believe when they write these, they're for mainly 5.56 rounds with a normal length 16-inch barrel. So maybe a little different when you're adjusting, but it should be, I mean, somewhat accurate. But it's important that you purchase a nice sight. This is a EOTech 512. This is about $420. You don't have to get one this expensive, but if you're interested, this is how it looks. Has 2 buttons. It does. I don't need this. Some of them are more. They go up to like $800, $900. This one's a basic one. You don't need. I don't need night vision. It just has brightness buttons. That's all I need. You could also go as cheap as like a Romeo 5. They're like $120, what I also have. And it holds zero fine. I just like the style. But I wouldn't recommend going with like a $30 sight, because if you, let's see if I could, if you open this and close it on a $30 sight, there's a good chance that next time you shoot, it could be way off again. It won't hold your zero. This guy should hold zero forever. If you buy a sight, just probably make sure it's over like 120 bucks. Sig, Hollow Sun, and if you want more expensive, Aimpoint, EOTech, something like that. Again, it is important because the weapon is, when you pull it out, you want to make sure you hit your target. There's no point in having a weapon if you're not going to hit anything with it. That's pretty much it with the video. I'm going to do a quick refresher just in case one more time. You 25 yards, take 5 shots, pop, 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 center mass close as possible. Take your time, breathing, squeeze your finger squeeze. Just take your time, no hurry, no rush. Shots, depending on where they come out, these are by inches. You adjust down, left. If you shot here, you adjust down, right. If you shot here, you adjust right, up. It's just wherever you shoot, you would slowly adjust it on your knobs right here. It's common sense. If you shoot up, turn it down. If you shoot right, turn it left. Even if you don't know the specific numbers when you turn, just turn it and see how much it moves from there, and then go. And then you just keep doing that till you get on target. Once you're on target, don't ever touch it. Don't ever take this off. Just leave it how it is. It should be good to go. I don't know how I forgot to add in, but I just remembered after I put everything away. So you start off at 25 yards. You're not zeroing it perfect at 25 yards unless you want to, but most of the time if you're a rifle, you want to shoot farther. You just want to make sure at 25 yards you're hitting the paper and making sure you're grouping good. Once you know you're grouping and you're hitting paper and your sight's not completely off, then you can move it to the 50 yard or the 100 yard, wherever you want to get your zero nice and tight and start moving down and up like I was talking about in the video, like adjusting your sights. This sight here though, if you zero it at 50 yards, it's supposedly zeroed for 50, 100, and 200. If you shoot anywhere in that distance and hit the dot, you're good to go. Every sight's different, of course, but again, you don't have to zero it at the 25 yards. The 25 yards is a good starting point to make sure you're hitting the paper, then put it at 50 or 100, and then get it nice and zeroed and tight there. This is how it looks with the sight on it that I purchased. I haven't really posted a video with it yet, but this is it right here. I think it looks really nice, and the cool thing is I never see a lot of AKs with these. They're so long, but I have this new rail on here also that I have in another video that I added on, so I was able to fit it on here, and I think it looks really nice. It looks a little different than others that I've seen. Has nothing to do with the zero, but I just wanted to put it on here. Don't call the cops on me if you live here, but basically this is how the site looks also. Oh, if I could get a good view or picture. That's it. It's really good quality. It's just so bright and my camera doesn't focus. But that's it right there. It's pretty cool. It has a bunch of adjustment settings.